Correct. One more important aspect, those people who joined at the beginning, they saw some slideshow. In one of the slide, you showed something like a wheel, and there were
Yeah.
some 7 areas were there. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Now I'm going to correlate with one or two case studies of my clients. Okay. See, these some of these clients, both husband and wife are working, double income, good amount of income, but they are in their 30s. They are in the 30s. They say that, we don't want to have any kids. We don't want to have. One of them wants to have kid, one of them doesn't want to have a kid. But your wheel said, family, that, this and all. So how do you use that wheel, and how do you address this problem? Where one of the partner wants to have a kid, another partner doesn't want to have a kid.
Yeah.
Both of them are working.
Beautiful. So the answer is there is nothing right and wrong. Most of us in our marriages, the first year you got married, you would have started getting calls from your parents, right? Any good news? Any good news? Pressure. Many of us fell for the pressure and had babies, though we wanted to give some time. The current generation is saying, no, don't put pressure, we'll take our time. In fact, it's not completely wrong. Huh? There is also a merit in taking time before having the baby. Because people who have babies within the first year, second year, third year, without understanding, when they have babies, no, mother's entire focus is diverted on the child. And there is not enough space for husband and wife to build their bondage. Right? So while there are merits in having the baby on time, there are demerits also, because husband and wife may not have the deep bondage. And what people think is, let me understand her, let her understand me first before we have another person in our family. There's nothing wrong about it. Yes, people can take a reasonable time, 3 years, 4 years, and then plan. Nothing wrong in planning a kid after 3, 4, 5 years. First thing. Second thing is, if they feel I don't want to have a baby, even there's nothing wrong about it also. See, because many of us would have seen that the moment we have kids, no, entire life goes for the kids. Somewhere there is a sacrifice of what the husband wants or wife wants for the kids, right? Nothing wrong in thinking that it's my life, and as husband wife we want to enjoy whatever we want. And if they are able to think through that we are not cut for having babies, nothing wrong about it. First thing. Second thing is, there are people who people who are in a certain celebrity who don't want to lose their beauty because of the pregnancy and all. They go for surrogacy. During our stage, that would have been looked at a very dirty way. But right now, there are people who are going for surrogate babies. There are people who are adopting babies.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So before we go into Q&A, we're coming to the fag end. We're going to go into Q&A. One question I already asked, whatever came in the Q&A, I've already asked. So one or two last questions, few questions before we do it. It's about 45 minutes. Thank you so much. So now next question, Sendil, is both spouses are working. Okay. Or there's a family where they have twins. And what happens today is people have become busy, or the right word to use is super busy. Okay.
Yes.
So they're not able to manage everything and all that stuff. Maybe you call it as time management, you call it as life management and all. So today's topic is called relationship mastery, emotions mastery, and life mastery. So how do you address these challenges, super busy with these three things, what they should be doing?
Okay, so the guiding point again is, if one is aware of their hierarchy of values, right? You will be the most disciplined, reliable, focused, ordered, and organized when you're doing anything in the highest value. Whenever I'm learning or researching on human behavior, expanding human awareness, and all my 9 trips to Johannesburg, 6 trips to Singapore, I was disciplined, reliable on my own, right? Similarly, consulting, like you schedule this, you saw how much, we were discussing and preparing for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is something which is not in my highest value, and if I am trying to do that because father said, mother said, brother said, uncle said, auntie said, religious leader said, somebody else said, we will suffer. So first thing is knowing what your hierarchy of values, and allow yourself to fill your life with your highest priorities and delegate the low priorities instead of expecting to be there in all places. Right? So Dr. John Demartini, he does only researching, teaching, and traveling. Rest all delegated. Everything literally delegated. And that's why he was able to read 32,000 books and 290 disciplines like axiology. All that's all. There is no more discipline which is there for human behavior.
Super.
And the impact he is able to create. We all can create that impact if we are living aligned to highest values. There's nothing wrong about it. In fact, that's the way to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
Then how should I manage that 7 areas of life? Like, what you showed, that wheel of life and all. What is it? And then how should I manage
Beautiful
it?
question. Thanks for asking that. The moment you are living aligned to your highest values, automatically one by one, you will start balancing. How? When your highest value is your spiritual quest. So when I'm helping people dissolve their emotional charges or helping them find their life purpose, that's my spiritual quest. I get spiritually aligned, right? When you are living aligned to your highest values, you are most balanced. You embrace both pain and pleasure in the pursuit of purpose. So when you are emotionally balanced, you are more calm. Yeah, you don't have that anger, tantrums, and all that. You have that highest level of learning capabilities when you're in your highest values, right? Your mental, you unleash your mental genius, just like Aladdin rubbed the lamp and genie came. When you're living aligned to highest values, it's like rubbing your genie and allowing your genie to come outside, right? So spiritual, mental. When you convert your highest value into a business, you can create a world-class business. Work. And you will be able to unleash your true economic worth, which you can't when you are an employee, right? Which is what Madhya was sharing. And when you need great level of balance to excel in finance, yes or no? That's what Warren Buffett said. When you're on your highest value, you are emotionally more balanced and therefore the highest propensity to save, invest, and build wealth. When you're emotionally balanced, again, you can have a more functional family because you won't be reacting for anything and everything. And when you're on your highest value, you have your highest level of social influence. People look up to you. You want to serve people and have a fair exchange, and you unleash your social leadership. And when you're on your highest value, you have the highest level of vitality, energy, and you can keep moving on because you are in direct access to the divine. So living aligned to highest value is the first and simplest step to align all areas of life. First one. Second one is, in each area, we may have emotional charges. You may look up at someone spiritually and think that guy is more spiritually aligned, I'm not. This guy is more intelligent, I'm not. This guy is doing great business, I'm not. This guy is financially better, I'm not. This guy has a great family, I'm not. This guy is socially great influence, I don't have. This guy has great fitness, I don't have. Right? Second one is, dissolve your infatuations and see how you are equal to them. First level. Similarly, if you have any resentments, dissolve those resentments. Once you dissolve your charges, again, each area you start empowering. Second thing. And third, you can go to next level by learning each area. Furthermore, how can I learn about finance? How can I learn about equity, real estate, different asset classes? How can I learn a little more about emotions? So that is the final stage. But this is the first two steps by which you can empower all areas.
Thank you so much, Sendil. You've been sharing a lot of nuggets with us.
Email ID.
Thank you. So what I did, Sendil, was whenever the questions got popped up in the Q&A, I used it during the session itself.
Beautiful.
We will just wait for a minute, if there are any questions are there. I think this 45-50 minutes has been really power packed, with a lot of things. Apart from this, if I had not asked any questions, for example, I have not touched upon anything, but you wanted to add for our clients or for the audience of this, anything that you would like to add, Sendil?
Thanks for asking that, Senthil. So one very key element which is getting missed in the current advanced life we live is, for any illness, we think allopathy or any kind of medication, a quick pill is the remedy. Almost 99% of illnesses are because of some problem in the mind, psychosomatic, right? Some kind of emotional problems, right? So I've done one advanced course with Demartini where he covered 1,000 disease conditions and the emotional triggers which has caused them, right? Cancer is an outcome of a chronic emotional charge carried for decades. Okay. If a person is having right side of their body having cancer or any kind of ailment, they are having some charge on a male in their family. Right kidney, right breast cancer. Yeah. If they are having left side of the body affected, they are having some resentment or charge on some female in their family, right? Almost all illnesses are because of this emotional charges. So therefore, this is something which people take lightly. And every time you dissolve a charge, you start healing yourself. So emotional charges can affect anything, heart attacks, you have strokes. All these are chronic charges carried for a very long period. So it's important for all the audience here to find out what are the people they hate the most in their life and work towards dissolving those charge. Or if there are any infatuations, again, infatuations are the root cause for most affairs, right? People are having some discrepancy within the marriage and they have an infatuation, and comparing the wife to the infatuation, wife is not able to match it and their marriage is snap off. So it's important to dissolve the charges, and this itself can help them hugely in having a health and wellness. Now, the bigger question is how to avoid emotional charges. The more you start living aligned to your highest value, you stop accumulating fresh charges. You just have to dissolve only past charges.